July's fairy giveaway. We doing that tonight?
No.
Oh, okay.
I need help. There's some sugar right there.
See, it's the week before. We're doing the giveaway next week.
Oh, okay.
When is the giveaway?
Next week.
What's a giveaway? Can you please open the whole Starburst thing?
Can you throw this away, please? Thank you, sir. We gotta cut them fingernails.
Ew, they're all the lemon.
Oh, that's a sad pack.
Yeah.
I like it when it comes with two pinks.
The pinks are the best.
Now, the tropical ones, mango.
Refreshes.
Now, the mix-up ones are the best.
The mango one is my. Is it this one?
Yeah, maybe hit play.
Tropical ones.
Oh, there you go. Just drag that all the way over. Refreshes.
Now,
Sorry, I was trying to get the sound off. The mango ones from the tropical ones are my favorite.
hey, the lemon ones are the best.
Go ahead and share it on the Facebook.
The lemon ones are the best.
Oops. All right, so this right here.
Yep. Oh,
that's
it is summer.
It's gonna take some getting used to.
We have a lot less people show up during the summer. Are you at school?
You sure?
Of course it's the summer. If you're not at school, you're either on summer break, Christmas break, or fall break. Is it Christmas break?
Spring break.
Or spring break? Is it Christmas break?
No.
Is it fall break?
No.
Is it spring break?
No.
So what break is it?
Summer.
Summer break.
Can you pick up those dirty clothes that you dropped on the way to the laundry room and go set them in front of the washer, please? Thank you.
What are you making for dinner tonight?
We have chicken.
I'm
It
not
seems
even hungry.
inappropriate considering their current state.
Yeah.
Sad. They only gave me one Starburst.
Lies.
Yes. It is.
I'm not even hungry, to be honest.
I'm not super hungry. Like, I could eat, but I'm not like.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Once we finish this, it'll take that 45 minutes to cook. So maybe you'll be hungry by then.
Well, I was hoping to start fasting tomorrow, but if Ruthie, grants my request, we're having cheesecake.
You better make it home.
I will bring home.
A whole cheesecake.
Well, no, but I will bring home.
She said she would make you one.
a slide. I know, but I feel bad about calling her, being like, "Hey, remember you said you were
Somebody
going to
else
make
is
one?"
here. But
Hello,
if
we're talking about
if
cheesecake.
you pay her, then you don't feel bad.
I know, but I feel bad calling, being like, "Hey, remember that order?" Because they just moved, so they're getting settled.
Turn the Wi-Fi
Make sure the
off.
Wi-Fi's off.
Yes,
We're
turn the
talking about cheesecake. I've hated cheesecake my entire life
Turn the Wi-Fi off. Do you know how to do that?
until
Let me see it, baby.
last August, and I
Turn the
had
Wi-Fi
one that
off.
changed my life,
You go
and
right
I've been
back
trying to
this one.
get her
Right
to
there.
make it ever since.
Here you go, baby. Ah, my sister's here.
Hello, Tennessee
Hi.
Bushcrafter. How you doing? It's been a while. Been a while, really. I mean, I guess we took last week off because of the 4th of July, which was awesome.
It was good. Once we got to where we needed to
Yeah.
be.
We went to a different place for fireworks,
It was-
and I apologized to Owen because I felt like I cheated him out of good fireworks for most of his life.
You did not.
I think I did. Like the best we've ever been to, the best he's ever been to, was right out. Well, no, it was in
Ohio.
Worcester, Ohio,
Yeah.
and we were like on top of a giant hill that overlooked the city,
Yeah.
and saw it going off, and so that was the best. But the town that we're hoping to move to puts on a killer show.
Yeah.
We're doing good. Oh, they changed how they do that. Cool. We're doing good. Trying to
Be patient. It's not working.
Yeah. Well, with that, be patient. Yeah.
It's not working.
No, I was saying we're trying to like come down and relax for the evening before next week starts, when it could get pretty
Intense.
intense.
It's your last week of summer school.
It is.
Which is nice.
But we should be hearing back from the appraiser, so.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Hello, Miss Dabney. How you doing today?
Hello. We've been waiting since the 25th of June, so my hopes are very low. Very low.
Well, even if it comes in a little low, maybe they'll work with us. I don't know. I'm hoping, because we're trying our hardest not to plan like where we want to put stuff in the house and all that kind of stuff. We're trying our hardest not to, but it's getting harder and harder.
It's not working. It's not working at all.
We always go to Cookeville, Tennessee, 30 minutes from here. It's one of the biggest in the state. Oh, very cool. Fireworks. I mean, yeah. I'm doing good. Fixing dinner. Ooh, what are you making? We were just talking about that. We're having chicken. Again. It feels kind of like my brain's not working. That's all we've had recently is chicken and chicken and chicken. It's because we didn't buy any beef.
That's because when I went to buy it, the prices were really, really high, and I told you we need to go buy beef somewhere, and we never did.
We never did. So all we've had is chicken, and I'm so sick of chicken.
Well, that sounds yummy.
Roast beef, mashed potatoes, and gravy.
Sounds amazing.
Sounds delicious. What's up, Indiana Backyard Gardener? How you doing today?
Hi.
Oh, did I miss one?
Yeah, she said hello.
Oh, hello, Miss Nichols. How you doing? Oh, and young Poppy. Did you watch Owen?
No, you don't need it. You didn't finish your dinner? You didn't finish your dinner?
Did I watch UFC 264? No, but I did see the highlights. Once I got done with the cringing at seeing his foot laying perfectly flat on the ground while he was standing up, is it wrong that I was kind of happy? I have a love-hate relationship with Conor McGregor.
I get that, but he's a person, and that's
He's a fighter. He's not a person. Doing great. Not super busy today for once. Cool.
Did you get that?
I'm going back up to him. Yeah, I was trying to have a pretty chill day. Like I'm the type, I don't dress up for church, and for some reason I dressed up.
All I could find was a collared shirt. That's it.
And
so I just pulled it
so
out.
I said, "Hey, I'm dressed up." Owen always is dressed to the nines on his own. Like sometimes Hannah will lay it out. Other times that's just what he likes to wear. And I go, "Hannah, you're dressed nice too. You want to go somewhere after church?" But we're like, let's just come here and work.
Clean.
So like I mowed the yard and all kinds of stuff. So I guess I'm not doing a whole lot either. Let's see.
She corrects my name later down, and it's totally fine. It happens.
Hello, it's been a while. Checking in to let you know I'm still kicking good. Sorry I haven't been here in a while. Can't stay long. That's okay. I get it. Life is life, and life gets busy, and I totally get it. Grilled salmon, grilled cabbage, and wedges. Oh, that's a meal for Owen.
Yes.
He would love that. We're watching the end of the soccer game. My wanted emblazoned win, but Italy did. Oh, Italy won. I didn't even know there was anything going on until I saw a TikTok yesterday where this guy's wife took down his England flag and was like, "They're not going to win, so why are we going to support him?" And he went off. It was funny. Raven Cat Homestead, hello. Threat should say I wanted England to win. Gotcha. Health issues mainly. I'm praying for you. I hope everything's good. Turns out good.
Doing stuffed peppers and Greek salad. That sounds amazing. I love Greek salad.
You like stuffed peppers?
I do. I haven't had stuffed peppers.
We should make you some of those rattlesnake tails again.
Poblanos hurt me.
Oh, that's right.
I just don't. I love them. They're so good, but they don't. They make my stomach hurt.
Text my mom. Tell her to stop sending me stuff on Facebook and get in this live.
That. You handle that one. I'm not gonna be rude.
So we did make I'm trying to get back on my diet so hard, y'all, but it's just not working. We did make a meal the other night that was freaking amazing.
So good, but we got to tweak it because we both had stomach aches when we were done. Like heartburn just set in.
Yeah, the heartburn was vicious.
Because it was.
But I used the Instapot and I threw in a
Yeah.
pound of chicken tenders and like tenderloins, not like, you know, the stuff you get from Dairy Queen. Anyway, I threw in a pound of that. I dumped in a bottle of the Parmesan garlic from
Which is where the
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Which is where the problem came in because
Yeah.
it's slightly spicy.
And then I followed that up with the same bottle. I filled it up with milk and dumped it in. I cooked that for 8 minutes. And then I threw in some rotini noodles after that was done. And then Parmesan cheese and a block of cream cheese and mixed all that together. Oh, gosh, that was amazing.
It was really good, but that I don't think you're supposed to eat that much of that sauce.
Probably not, but we ate a crap ton of it.
Good.
Lazy rainy day here. Finally had a lax day between hot and humid for weeks. Went to the Amish auction yesterday. Added 4 new rabbits, different breed. Very cool.
Yeah.
I love Amish auctions. Anything Amish. I love anything Amish. Theology, not so much, but everything else about them, we're down.
That's where you got your boots.
That's where I got my boots. Hey, Julie.
He's adding animals. We seem to be decreasing.
I know, yeah. So, you mentioned rabbits. I'm going to get to rabbits here in just a second. But, yeah, we are decreasing. We had another attack. I don't think it was last night.
No,
it was today. It must have been while we were at church.
Because our little space cadet white one,
gone.
She's gone, and there's feathers everywhere. There's a bunch of other feathers, and our oldest chicken, she has some puncture wounds.
Yeah.
She's acting weird today, and I was like, I don't think she's going to do well.
How do you get blue coat off your hands? Anybody know?
Time.
I won't say what's in my head. So yeah, like I blue coated the puncture wounds. I gave her some food and water, and she's just not having any of it. She's breathing, not labored breathing. It's very steady and calm, but it is shallow, and she won't move.
But whatever it was, it scared the crap out of all of them because the neighbor came over and asked if we had a black turkey.
Yeah.
And it was one of our little bantams, so we got her back.
Yeah.
Stupid little chicken. She's just an escape artist anyway.
So, yeah, y'all, you're adding animals. Seems like we're losing some.
Yeah.
But speaking of rabbits, I took a little bit of time icing my knee, which I'm gonna have to do again. It's starting to hurt real bad. Or icing my shin today. And I was watching.
We were watching a bunch of different people about rabbits.
Yeah, it started out with Good Simple Living, and then I jumped over, I don't know, whatever the one YouTube was giving me, because we want to get into rabbits. Like, we want it for food. We definitely want it for fertilizer, and we want it for the fur. Because if I could get a really pretty line of rabbits, excuse me, I would use that for a Santa suit. So, because I'd like for it to be a little bit gray, kind of like Kurt Russell's, but not all the way. Like, I don't want to use the wolf fur. Like, I don't want. Sorry.
You don't want the fake stand.
I don't want this. This is my dead cat for the microphone. I don't want this. But I also don't want it to be like exactly like Kurt Russell's. I just want a little touch of that. So I know you can get, like with the chinchilla, I could get pretty close to what I'm. Sorry, that's got to be loud for y'all. I could get pretty close to what I want for that. So I was doing a deep dive, researching what I need when we get rabbits, all this stuff. This is all dependent on if we move to where we are hoping to move. Yeah, I said
Mom.
Fermenting pickles today. with garlic and dried hot pepper and dill seeds.
Love spicy pickles. There's spicy dill pickles.
Yeah.
Those are.
We were trying to get Owen to do pickles, and he won't.
He loves cucumbers and he loves
Dill pickle chips.
Yeah.
But he will not do dill pickles.
Odd duck.
I don't get it. Oh. It was super simple. I haven't used our Instapot very often. Hannah uses it more than I do.
I haven't used it in a while, but we need to use it more.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I'll tell Owen when he comes in.
Yeah, he's in his room right now.
Watching Mark Rober play with sharks.
I can't do kimchi. It uses black tea or green tea or white tea.
I did not know that.
Look at Monchi. Let me see. She has a kimchi recipe that does not. It does use pepper paste, but there's no tea. I won't have the link for you, but I'll at least get the right spelling. Oh, I can get. She has a YouTube channel. That's how I know her. But apparently she has a website as well. There you go. Yeah, she. I just posted it. She makes probably the best fried chicken I've ever had. Before I went on my diet, I found it and I made it frequently. It was so crunchy. It was delicious. These are blue mini Rexes. I'm at 15 New Zealand's right now. Very nice. Do you use them purely for meat? I was looking at something like the American chinchilla because it does take longer to grow out, but it seems like it's got really good fur. They produce like rabbits. That's so stupid. Anyway, but it takes like 6 months to grow them out instead of 2 months. But at first I was looking at purely a meat breed, but I do kind of like the idea of having heritage breeds, especially when I know that they are on endangered lists, because then it just I'm helping to strengthen and build the breed numbers. So even with me eating some of them. Oh,
it was the blue Rexes. Sorry, no.
We do get up to the Amish place about every few weeks for produce that we don't grow. Had 2 cases of beets yesterday for $14. Wow. Watch the Rabbitry Center. Okay. I was trying to think the Hostel Hair. Now I remember. I was trying to think of that to look, and I couldn't. So the Rabbitry Center, I will definitely check them out. Love my rabbits. It's a slow process for us to get to the point where we'll eat it on the regular. And it's just Owen would be fine.
He'd be totally fine.
It's just a mental block because we're trying to get into more, just foods that we didn't grow up with.
Yeah, we grew up on beef, chicken, and sometimes pork. That's about it.
Mm-hmm. And we pretty much don't eat any pork now.
No, we don't, other than bacon and occasional sausage.
Yeah.
We don't do a whole lot.
Not for any reason other than I don't feel good when I eat it. What's up, Shaky?
Hello.
How you doing, buddy? Blue Rexes are close, like salt and pepper. There are thousands of color variations, though, right? How's the house hunt going? So, it's going. We have kind of forced movement on the house, which is good, but they ordered the appraisal at the end of 25th of June, and we still hadn't heard anything. And dealing with the inspection, we finally got our inspection done. That was a nightmare and a half.
Just getting information about it back was
It was the second time we've used this company, and probably not going to use them again.
No.
Well, I mean, definitely not going to use them again. I'm not going to blast them out or anything like that. But if someone asks me, hey, who'd you use for that? We'll be like, maybe you should go with these guys. Yeah, so I had tried calling my processor. I had tried emailing my processor. I could never get in touch with them. I would call the mortgage services call center, and all they could tell me was like, well, we can't tell you actually anything about the appraisal. We order it from this one company, and then they schedule it and all this stuff, and we don't know anything. Yeah, and we don't know anything until it comes back to us. I'm like, so can I call the company and chew them out or something? You know, it takes 4 weeks to get a survey, and we're supposed to close on the 30th. So we got to get something moving. And so I emailed the manager of processing, and the next day I get an email from my processor that was like, sorry, I've been unreachable. I talked to the appraisal people in the title office. We have your stuff ordered, your title work ordered, all that stuff, and the appraisals to be scheduled early next week. So
we're not sure.
I'm going to be calling midweek because that's past early next week. My realtor was like, that's actually a really good answer that we received. So if he's comfortable with it, I'm comfortable with it. And I'm going to be calling Wednesday to be like, all right, it's past early week. Have you heard about, what's going on? Because I have to get this survey scheduled ASAP. So that's where we are. I am to the point where I'm through playing, and I'm going to become very annoying to make sure things get done. And part of me is a little bit timid with that because I'm like, I don't want to piss them off, and
they'll just drag their feet more.
Just be like, you know what, we decided you're not a good fit to give you a loan. But at the same time, I'm purchasing a service from this person. I expect there to be proper customer service. And I know they're busy and they're dealing with a flood of things right now. But there's also now a reason why I learned why people go to small town banks instead of big banks or big credit unions or anything like that. So, yeah. Next house we buy is going to be through a small community bank. We just had pickled okra for the first time. Hannah loves pickled okra.
That's the only way I like okra. I love pickled okra.
I like okra fried and dipped in ketchup. I love growing okra. Okra is probably my favorite thing to grow. I just don't eat it. Most pickles taste harsh. Fermented can be pulled when reaches desired flavor. Oh, that's smart. I did see a guy yesterday, maybe the day before. I don't know. I just told Hannah about it today. He took his jar of pickles and dumped the not Hillshire Farm, Hill Valley. Is that what it is? The ranch people dumped the ranch packet into the pickles, shook it up, got it combined, and then let it sit for 2 or 3 days in the fridge, and then started eating them. He says it's really, really, really good. So I don't know. We'll see. Goodness gracious.
Okay, catch up.
Yeah. I don't use tea either. Red bean curd or miso paste. Brad Leone does a good variation on Bon Appetit. We love Bon Appetit. Tasty, we like. Our favorite food is Alex, the French guy cooking, and Joel Hansen, who's just a competitive eater.
He's amazing. Like,
He's a machine.
Don't get it. Yeah. He eats he's so clean.
Yeah. Champagne d'Argent is dual purpose. Oh, okay. I'll have to look. Are they nice? Like, I know I've heard horror stories about regular chinchillas, but then I've heard the American chinchillas are super docile. And we kind of want that too, because the breeding pair, we'd like to kind of use them as pets, just
I don't
ones
want
that we would only
chinchillas.
take out occasionally. But these are American chinchillas, not the chinchillas you're thinking of.
I had a friend who had chinchillas in Canada.
Yeah, no. 2 New Zealand does and 1 buck, you can get around 650 pounds of meat.
Oh, wow.
Dang. That's crazy. Heritage breeds have more nutrition. I was looking at heritage breeds for goats sheep, because I had thought about getting some Florida cracker sheep right before we got the pool, which kind of took away our ability to have sheep, which was okay. Now that I'm thinking about it, it would not have been a good situation to have even 2 sheep here. Living Traditions, great channel for rabbits. Also, Hickory Croft Farms. All right, I'll be doing a deep dive, and so I'll go through all these. I'm the type of person, I will do an insane amount of research before I jump into something. And then when I jump into something, either I'm an expert at it or very well versed to get it done, or I'll jump into it and then I'll lose total interest.
It's so frustrating. Because he'll jump into something and I won't know it until he's already decided he's going to do it. And then I have no choice.
That's what happened with the Masons. Okay, gotta go. Take care. All right, Edie, you have a good one.
Bye.
Getting into the mindset of killing cute, cuddly rabbits can be a big transition. That doesn't bother me.
You struggled, like when you did the quail, that was a little rough, but
that was because
it
was my first time ever killing an animal, and I don't ever want to hurt the animal.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the proper scissors, so I started to cut one, and I felt horrible because I messed up, and so very quickly on the fly I learned the best way to do it with the scissors that I had, and then from then on it was no issue.
Chickens you didn't have problems with.
I didn't have problems with the chickens. There was a little bit of trepidation there at the first time, because I used the broomstick method even on chickens. But I will be using the hopper popper for the rabbit. So killing the rabbit and cleaning the rabbit, that doesn't bother me. And it's even easier to clean a rabbit than it is a chicken. I hate cleaning chickens. And we don't even pluck the chickens. I just hate cleaning them. Like, it's just such a pain, especially
you take the skin off of them,
yeah.
So you don't have to.
But even with hands as big as I have, I have sausage fingers, but like my palms are big. It's tough to clean out a chicken properly. And so rabbits, they're pretty easy to clean. Us, it's just eating a
chicken or
typical meat. Yeah. It's a big difference in killing pigs and chickens. Yeah, I agree. Though killing pigs, that would cause me a little bit of anxiety. I know the best way is to cut their throats. Once you stun them, of course. That would be a little much for me. Have you seen the video of the guy in I think it was Brazil? He had this giant, almost like batleth style sword, and in one fell swoop decapitated the pig. Yeah, that's the ideal way.
I can't take part in that process. I just I can't do it. Yeah.
Hello, Miss Tina. How are you doing?
Lisa Cooper also said hello.
Oh, sorry. Let's see. Hello, Miss Cooper. Oh, wow, that's terrible. So sorry you're having such a hard time. It's a pain in the rear, but I know if we can get past this appraisal and they're not too far off to where we can make it up, this property's perfect for everything that we need to do at this point in our journey to finally having our own farm. Can't eat okra black. I don't blame you. It's very snotty.
It's slimy and pickled. I don't notice sliminess when I eat them pickled. Like there's none.
Same thing with fried if it's been done right.
To me, they're slimy.
Okra is easy here. Put a seed in the dirt and a 3x6 cage around it, neglect and pick over.
I
Yeah,
love to say, of everything that lives in or anything that lives in the garden, it's always the okra last man standing.
maybe
always.
that's because we neglect our garden.
I don't, not normally.
That's true. I do.
I don't. I take care of it.
I would plant it. I'd turn it into a Ronco garden. I'd set it and forget it. But burgundy okra is my absolute favorite.
Pretty flowers.
I just spied golden silk on my corn stalks. Very cool.
Nice.
The tomatoes and volunteer pumpkins are doing great too. That is awesome.
I want to grow pumpkins, but I don't ever have any good luck with that.
We got to try Seminole.
Oh, is that what it is?
Seminole pumpkins. Yeah. What type of corn are you growing? I love the slick, slimy okra. In-laws in Georgia introduced me to it. Yeah.
I can't.
I can't do it. Can't do it. I'm a research fanatic. I go into something fully or not at all. Do you have ADHD? Because I do, and that's.
Like, I don't have a problem with you researching, but you gotta let me know at the beginning part.
Yeah.
So I don't walk into this is my life now. I am just a spectator.
Yeah, and I was just talking to you, but I was just talking to you yesterday about joining the Shriners.
I know, because you told me a week ago, I'm not going to do that for a year, and I'm going to do this one first.
Well, but then I learned to go York Right. It's 2 Wednesdays a month, and I'm not willing to commit to that.
Yeah.
But 1 Wednesday a month with the Shriners, that's a little different. Fezzes are cool. You have a good one, Miss Dabney.
Bye.
Rabbits stink when you clean them, though. We feather chickens, like my better half says. She doesn't like venison. Put enough gravy on it, and I can get her to eat it. I'm kind of the same way with ketchup. That's how I eat the rabbit when we got it. Our friend gave us 2 rabbits, and I ate it with ketchup.
Yeah.
I would love to get into eating venison too, but again, I didn't really grow up with it. I mean,
I think it takes some time to get used to.
Yeah, I ate it growing up. I just didn't know I was eating it. There was about 6 months before we moved to Florida that we were living at my mom's best friend's house, and that's all they ate was venison and chicken. So
I think it's once you get used to it,
yeah,
you don't really even notice a difference.
And that could be why, as many times as I tried to make the smoked sausage and macaroni and cheese casserole thing that Julie always made, I could never get it to taste just like hers.
Might be that.
And I was always saddened because it was not nearly as good as Julie could make it. And then maybe that's why, because she used venison. Okra only use is gumbo. Oh. Set it and forget it. That's why I like my hydroponics.
But in the gumbo, that it might not be slimy in that either. Yeah. Might be okay.
I'm growing the red burgundy. It's so beautiful. That is hands down the prettiest flower I've ever seen. If I could somehow figure out how to grow just that flower ornamentally, I would have it everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous. That almost like cream flower with that deep red center. Like it's gorgeous. I'll research for 3 months or more before she knows. I get that. I think mine is the exact polar opposite of it. You would think ADHD is such a broad term. I'm ADHD inattentive, so I don't have the hyperactivity. I mean, look at me. Obviously, I don't have the hyperactivity, but I hyper focus on something, and that's why I tend to go towards research, is because you can hyper focus on that. And yeah, it's
frustrating, annoying
for you.
Yeah,
it's frustrating for me when I am hyper focused and people keep interrupting me and breaking my concentration, because when I finally get something that I can focus on, like it feels so good to focus. Otherwise there is no focus. It's I'm trying to do this one thing and it's jumping all over. Oh, it hurt. It hurts so much. Like, yes, related to hibiscus.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. I am going to have to do some research.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm saying if pull up the hibiscus flower, like do away with Manchi. If it looks anything like that, I'll be growing me some hibiscus, and then we can make the tea. We could take the leaves and make tea, right? Or is it just the flowers that make tea? No. Well, that's kind of like it.
Except for it doesn't have the thing in the
It doesn't
middle,
have the thing, yeah.
and the leaves are closer together.
But that's still a pretty flower.
It is. Maybe it does.
Who knows? That may be why I have. Yeah, I've really done some deep dive research into ADHD recently, and I was diagnosed in my
20s.
late teens, early
Late
20s.
teens.
Well, we got married at 19.
No, we didn't. We got married at 21.
Oh, whatever.
You
Okay,
got
so
done,
early
that's right.
20s. And I knew it. When I've been doing more research, it has become so clear that I have a severe case of ADHD attentive. Hannah even thinks maybe even a little bit on the spspectrum because
never said
they're
that.
very
You did.
close. You said it. You just didn't use those words. They're very close. They're both neurodivergents. But let's see. Foraging led to medicinal plants, led to herbalism. I would love to really know a lot about that kind of stuff. My problem is, especially when it comes to foraging, I am so terrified of picking the wrong thing, thinking it's something else. Because some things you can get really sick. Other things can kill you. And just look at the morels. Morels are delicious. Now, I've hunted morels my entire life, so I'm pretty well confident if I'm going to pick a morel, it's going to be the right one. But somebody who's coming out that doesn't really know morels, they could get the wrong kind, and they could get really, really sick, if not die. So it's very, and I follow Kirsty Forges on YouTube. She puts out some great stuff. I haven't seen a video come out for her in a while, but the videos that she has out, very informative, very useful. I follow on TikTok the Chaotic Forager. It's all very intriguing to me, and I love that idea. But going out and foraging, it does scare me a little bit. That's why I haven't found any beauty berries. I know they grow in the wild everywhere, and I would love to grow beauty berries here. But I'm so scared. I mean, I haven't gone out. Elderberries grow like wild here. Blackberries, like all kinds of berries. That's what most of our black bears eat. They're mainly berries. They don't eat a whole lot of fish around here. Yeah. I'm just scared of picking the wrong thing. Now, my medicinal garden is huge. We would like to have an entire box dedicated to medicinal gardens. Everything from like mallow to lemon bee balm to chamomile to, all that stuff. I'm also a researcher. It's so much fun. I love learning things. I'm not an expert in anything, but I know a crap ton about a lot, and it makes me very good at Jeopardy. Thought mine was just a Sigma personality. I would take the online test and see how you come out. Just like to be well informed. I agree. I get that. I have like 3 or 4 different mushrooms on my property. Have no clue. I don't know.
That is the one thing I told Owen never to touch.
Yes.
Like that and berries, because berries can be really bad too. But Owen is not afraid to just go around and pick something and eat it. So we had to tell him, you don't do that with mushrooms. Like to the point of all mushrooms are poisonous. Unless we are specifically growing them, they are poison. And he gets up and runs away from them if he's rolling down a hill. But, at least he's safe.
Yeah, we had to tell him you're not allowed to just pick up dandelions in the park or at truck stops and eat them. I'm like, at Mama and Papa's house, that's fine because they didn't spray anything on them to get rid of them. You can't do that at truck stops. here in Florida, the ones that are going to grow in your yard, they are no good automatically. You can go out and you can find a couple in the wild.
Yeah.
Not good. Now, in Indiana, there are some that will show up that are totally good. There are oyster mushrooms that will grow. You just need to kind of know what you're doing. If I were you, I would get morel spores and look up urban farming guys on YouTube, morel mushrooms. And that's how I found them. They got a killer operation. But they get morel spores, make up their own slurry, put it around their property, and like they make crazy amount of money. Now I would eat it all, but being in Indiana, you could do that very easy, and you could enjoy the bounty of your harvest at the same time sell quite a bit of it
For morel, so you can make really good money.
Yeah, very, very good money. Your fear is well founded. False morels is total BS. 90% of the fears are unreasonable and unfounded because a lot of false morel is fully edible. I didn't know that. All I ever heard was if you get the wrong kind, it can be lethal. Most fungi in this country are considered edible if cooked. Oh, okay. So like the ones we have popping up here, the button style, the puff mushrooms. Maybe those are okay cooked. I still won't try it because I'm petrified. But more power to people who are willing to do that research and trust themselves. Plants are a lot more dangerous than fungi. Here are only a couple that will full on kill you. Yeah, I did see. What's up there, Chris Derry, Roselle Rod? How you doing? I did see a video. I think it was TikTok. I don't know. In England, there is they call it the poisonous garden or the death garden or something like that. One of the royals at some point decided she wanted a garden dedicated to deadly plants. And
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, and they have like over 200 various species, and they were going through all that stuff, and he was like, yeah, this is just an ornamental plant that most people have in their gardens at home or their flower beds at home. He said, but really, 2 leaves could do some serious damage to a child and make an adult very, very sick. So it's crazy. I have oysters, chanterelles, enoki, and morels in the backyard. Very cool. Have you ever grown king oysters?
Those are those really big ones that she had at the market. That they had at the market.
They had at the market. That was William T.S. Wong. If you are into mushrooms and growing mushrooms, look up William T.S. Wong on Facebook. That dude is the king of mushrooms. Not only does he have a business where he sells spores and tells you how to grow it step by step and all this stuff, he has such a insane amount of knowledge when it comes to plants in general, but specifically fungi. The dude it's mind-blowing to hear him talk. But he gave us, or did we buy it?
We may have bought it. I don't remember.
But this king oyster mushroom, it was huge.
The stalk was a few inches
wide. I have a buddy that's a vegan chef, and he uses that, and I put him in touch with Mr. Wong, and that's where he learned of the king oyster and all the stuff from. He uses the king oyster mushroom as imitation scallops.
Chicken.
No, the chicken. He may use it for chicken too, but I've seen him use the make imitation scallops out of these mushrooms. But it was really, really delicious. I even
didn't mind it, and I don't like mushrooms. Like I can handle teeny tiny like little bits of them and stuff. I don't like eating big mushrooms, but even I tried that and it wasn't
Yeah, it was good. I would love to grow it. I just don't live in a place though.
Oh no.
Nope, we're not planning for that property.
Oh no.
We're not planning. Just hanging out, canning a few gardening items. I can't wait to be able to start canning. I have stacks upon stacks of books on foraging, plant, and fungi ID.
I want that for wherever we live. Because
Yeah.
Owen, he's very, unless you want him to be, he's very adventurous with what he eats, and I don't want him just picking up whatever and eating it because I kind of like the kid. I don't want him to die being poisoned.
Yeah. But yeah, I was, if I could find the Army survival, I can't remember that last word. It's left my head. But from the 70s, the survival field guide now, like, it's good and there's a lot of information, but they've redacted a lot. If I could get the one from the 70s, that thing has all kinds of foraging help in it, and I would throw that in my bug out bag. Poison hemlock can kill you and looks scary close to wild carrot.
I never thought about wild carrots ever in my entire life until now.
I knew that there was wild onions.
Yeah, because North Carolina, that was like half our yard.
Yeah, I never thought of wild carrots either. Huh, interesting. Alnwick Garden. Okay, so that's what that name was called. Yeah, that was an interesting watch. I was a little annoyed because it's on TikTok, and now the most you can get is 3 minutes. I hate having to go and find part 2, but it was still really, really cool. If curious about foraging, look up Learn Your Land. I want to say I've heard of Learn Your Land and Eat the Weeds. Puffball mushrooms can be used as a faux pizza crust.
Interesting.
Good to know. He's very knowledgeable, and his excitement is infectious. I'll have to check him out. Loves reading the Herbalism Encyclopedia and the Audubon books. Oh, my 8-year-old. It helps if you read the whole sentence. My 8-year-old loves reading the Herbalism Encyclopedia and Audubon books. Very cool. I wish I had, at that age, my grandma was still alive. I wish I would have been into all this stuff then, because she was living on her own. She wasn't ancient. She was up there, and she was gardening this huge garden. Every now and then I would come over and I'd help her snap beans, but that's really the extent that I ever did with her plant related. I wish now I would have went back and learned all that stuff then. But hindsight's 2020. So I'm glad that he's taking an interest now. So he can learn all that stuff now. I'm in Eat the Weeds group. Green Bean is a great guy. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of that, and I think I even have his book on my Amazon wish list. I don't know. I keep a running list. That way, if Hannah ever goes, "What do you want for your birthday?" or so and so is asking what you want here, I'm like, here's a list of things that I've put away. Most of it's books. Some of it is things that I know is way too expensive. Nobody's going to buy that for me for a gift, but it's on there so I can keep in my mind, hey, I need to buy this eventually. Yeah, my grandparents were part Cherokee. Very cool. Yeah, I miss the idea of truly living from the land, but I also love my air conditioning. So my kids will ask me, Mr. Laughlin, if you had a time machine, where could you go, or where would you want to go? And after I get through the whole spiel of, well, it can't just be a time machine because our galaxy is moving throughout space. So not only does it need to be a time machine, it also needs to be moving in both time and space. I said, so we need a TARDIS, and then I'll point to the Starry Night TARDIS that I have in the back of my room that Hannah painted, which I'll get to that here in a second. So then they ask a TARDIS. So it turns into a 20-minute discussion and just wastes the class. But they'll ask me where I would want to go if I could ever use a time machine. And I always say as far back as I can go, but still have AC, and I would live remotely. Always add to my Amazon wish list. It's a help. It really is. Me too with Amazon. Make a public gift list. I have, yeah. Air conditioning. Heck yeah. This. Sorry, I had to do that because this lady was killing me. I'm so old, y'all. Yeah, I'm not living anywhere I don't have AC again. Living in Montana was brutal without rough. AC. Ouch. Whew. I love the outdoors, but I hate biting insects, chiggers, and ticks love me. What's up, bud? You had a what?
Yeah, we got about 10 minutes, honey.
You had a good rest. Turn that off. If you're in here, pause that.
I know, but I'm going to rest some more.
Oh, okay. Fine. Yeah, I don't do well with that type of stuff either. I use a lot of DEET, and we sprayed. Where were we? Was that 4th of July? We sprayed ourselves.
Yeah.
And I haven't really used DEET in a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I miss the smell because that was my childhood. During the day, because I played ball all summer, my dad was on softball teams, so we were always at the ballpark. During the day, it was always copper tone, which I love the smell of copper tone. And then as it became dusk, they lathered us up with DEET. And so those two smells, like, man, that's my childhood. I love that. But I mentioned, let's see, mosquitoes are so bad, especially with all the rain we've been getting. Yeah. I'm surprised it's not as bad.
Last year was really, really bad. This year, I didn't notice it as much.
Maybe because we're just now getting to the point where it's not constant raining. Like all of June and until like 2-3 days ago, it's been constant raining.
Since till Elsa.
Once Elsa came through, we've gotten some more sun. So I only had to mow the yard once all of June, even with all the rain we were getting. But my neighbor mowed it.
He was bored.
Wednesday. He came over and helped me drag a couple things with the lawnmower. And before he left, he mowed our yard. And I'm like, you didn't have to do that. He goes, I like mowing. He goes, and I got a rider. You got a push mower. So he goes, I'll just go ahead and do it. I'm like, okay. So he mowed on Wednesday, and I had to mow again today. And it was high enough that I had to be pretty careful in some spots where it tends to grow pretty thick. So I'm surprised the mosquitoes aren't as bad as they should be.
Yeah.
I'm thankful they're not as bad as they should be.
Last year it was really bad.
Yeah. This is why I like fall and winter. I try not to use sprays. I know sulfur dust helps, but sulfur is a fungicide. Yeah, true. I don't want to kill my edible mushrooms while foraging. Kind of a catch-22. Yeah. I'm with you. I like winter, fall, early spring. I'll even go with
summer's not our best.
Where it's cool air, but the sun is warm. All right, we're back. I don't know what happened. All right. Type right there. We're here. Coming back. All right. Woo. I don't know what happened. It just went away.
Let's get the crap out of us.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Let's see.
You were on that one. And the next one is Great Neighbors. They really are.
fall and winter. So yeah, I wish we had the same. I have been doing a deep dive into like Norway, like the research going back to all that stuff. Once I found out that I have Norwegian in my ancestry, like I've been obsessed with the Vikings.
Yes.
And though I'm 99% sure they did not directly come from Norway, that lineage, it came from when the Vikings infiltrated Ireland, because most of my family comes from Ireland. I have still been obsessed with learning about Viking. Like we're even going to learn now. Some of that deals with such the close connection to Christmas and Santa. Finland's the same way, though I looked up Finnish and I'm like, there's no possible way I'm ever going to try to learn that language. But we're going to try to learn as a family Norwegian, just so it can make our portrayal that much more real. And we can talk about people out in public and they wouldn't know. But, you know, their summers is my perfect weather. Like 71, a cool 71, and they're out at the beach. Like that's heaven on earth to me. And the brutal winters, that again, heaven on earth to me. Great neighbors. We have some good neighbors as well. They are.
I'm gonna miss them when we go.
Yeah.
Them and her brother, like, the guy who came over, his wife, her brother. They live right next door to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna miss them. They're great neighbors, but they're not here half the year. So right now it's that lonely period.
Yeah, it always makes us sad when they go, because we feel like even though there's people on the road, like the neighbor next door, you know, we've talked about our frustrations with them in the past, so I won't go into that again. But they're garbage, and so whenever they leave and they go back home, we get sad because it's like we're all alone again. But yeah, spring, so skeeters are terrible. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It went away and I panicked. Have Norwegian in my fam. Awesome. My family is Irish as well. Did you ever do an ancestry search? So I did ancestry.com DNA spit tube thing. And that's where I learned about the Norwegian in one of their, well, not recent updates, because I've known it for a little bit, but for some reason it just clicked to do the research. And yeah, I'm all about it, because I've always been attracted to that history and the Vikings, and even like Viking lore, like Odin and Thor, and you know, all of them. And I've always been attracted to that. A lot of people, for some reason, they're really into like Greek gods and Roman gods, and what do they call it? Not ancestry, mythology. Yeah. That never was a draw to me. I've always much more been a draw to the Viking culture. And I had a friend comment. He goes, "Wait, you were surprised to find out you were a Viking?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I should have learned or should have picked up on that, but you should live in the Pacific Northwest. They usually don't get that hot till this year." Yeah, they had a wicked heat wave come through, and I've heard that there's been some fires in Oregon as well.
Yeah, somebody lost their homestead.
Yeah, one of Hannah's people.
No videos. No, right now. We're almost done, honey.
But yeah, it's no.
That's on the internet.
That's on the internet. You can't use the internet.
So not right now.
Yeah, we don't have any games on there. Anyway, maybe when we move to this new house, we'll get good internet.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But yeah, I even found out I have a little African, which was awesome, because that means I'm invited to cookout. Norwegian, Irish, Cherokee, German, one heck of a mutt. We all are. If you're in America, you're a mutt,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But Christmas isn't a Viking thing. That was a tyrannical government taking over native populations. That's a whole other tangent. It is. There's definitely part of that, though. I've done a stupid amount of research, and I would probably disagree with that as a whole. But I'm saying like we get the whole idea of the Christmas tree being the evergreen tree in such a harsh Nordic winters, and that was always seen as a symbol of hope for the coming spring. Like that. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of thing. A lot of our traditions come from Nordic traditions. Really they kind of pulled from their pagan religion, and as that society kind of transitioned towards a more Christian based religion, they pulled that with them, and I always liked that. I used to watch that show. The way my brain works, I have no idea what show you're talking about. Oh no. Oh, the Vikings. Okay, that clicks. We're going through it right now. We're in season 4.
2.
No, we're in 4. Yeah, because we're waiting for Ragnar to go away. Sorry, I popped out. The neighbors just dropped off some maple syrup. Ooh, yummy. Well, she's yummy. I'm not a huge fan of maple syrup. I know what I said, and I was skipping over it. Don't give me that look. It clicked once I said it.
Right.
Time to eat now. Have a good one. All right. Have a good one, Miss Cooper. The Vikings on the History Channel. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good. I loved Floki the first season, and when he started going dark, I stopped liking Floki pretty much altogether. Pacific Northwest is where I believe I'm supposed to be. I would love the Pacific Northwest. I mean, that's where Bigfoot lives, and I'm a huge believer in Bigfoot. Like, legit, not like a comical. Like, I truly believe Bigfoot exists. To the point where I believe I have seen Bigfoot. But I'm not getting into that right now. That's another tangent. Woo! We could go on forever. My kids love it when I start talking about Bigfoot. What?
I had a dream one night about Bigfoot popped up, but it was just a giant clump of hair and we had to hide.
Oh.
Okay. Hello, Mr. McGahee. How you doing today? Or another country, yeah. If I had to pick another country to live in, it would probably be Norway. I'm not a huge fan of their system, but one thing about Norway, and my buddy was talking to me about this because he has his oldest boy has it's called Shy-Gibbs syndrome or Shaw-Gibbs syndrome, which hold on, buddy, and so it's a very tight-knit community, and it's a worldwide community, but it's so rare that people all over the world, like, they know each other. And they became really good friends with a little girl's family in Norway, and they went and visited Norway, and these guys are farmers. And the government forces you to hire, if you're a farmer, they force you to hire migrant workers, but they also protect you. And so they had, just for example, they had one guy that he got there and he started treating everyone like garbage, like even the landowner, the farmer, and thought he was going to run it. And so they called the local migrant association, that branch of the government. It was like, look, this guy, he's getting mouthy, he's doing all this stuff, and they had the guy deported the next day. So, like, as much as I don't like a lot of the things that happen there, they at least do look out for the Norwegians. So that's really cool. I guess I missed the conversation about foraging. Yeah.
That was a bit ago.
Oh, cool. I won't spoil it for you then. I kind of know how it goes. Hannah doesn't, though. So, yeah, don't spoil it for her. That was an abbreviated version. The church used a lot of other religions and holidays to ease the acceptance of Christianity. They did until they decided they didn't like Christmas anymore. That is called contextualism, which is it's a whole methodology within mission work. But when it comes to Christmas specifically, they did use a lot of that, and then they just decided, the Puritans mainly, like, Christmas is evil because it was a pretty raucous, drunken holiday. It was not a faith-based holiday like you see it today, at least in the latter part of the 20th century. Until like Macy's made it more commercial, but really that's kind of what saved the commercialization of Christmas is what saved it for today. And so now some people have very religious feelings towards it. Some people have no religious feelings towards it. And it's purely a time for family and fun. And that's okay too. I've learned my heritage is Irish and German and Scottish and Hungarian. Very cool. Merry Christmas in July. Yes. Merry Christmas in July. So, I don't know what that means. Okay. Before I keep going through the comments here, and we're going to have to sign off here in a little bit because little man's got to go to bed. But next week, we are having our drawing for the Christmas in July Fairies 2021. So if you have not, I think I have it pinned. If not, it's the first comment in the thread. Excuse me. Go to that video, comment anything on the video. Doesn't have to be anything like specific. Just comment something. That will enter you into the drawing.
Did your dad I want to win or something?
This is where I got the idea for Harvest Moon giveaway, which we'll be having later, but I still got to work everything out. So we're hoping to have over 200 channels involved. There's quite a bit already. I don't know. I haven't looked up the number.
She said the other day, but I can't remember.
We'll be holding our drawing next week, which the winner of our channel, they're going to the main drawing, which will be in the running to win a prize from every single channel that is hosting. If you win the big one, you get a gift card from us to Mary's Heirloom Seeds. But the winner of my channel, not only could they're in the running to win that gift card, but they get an extra entry into the Harvest Moon giveaway. Oh. So that's a pretty big deal. I'm doing good. All's great there. Oh, Memo says hi.
Yeah, I told him.
Oh, okay. I'll just say Scandinavia. Oh, dang, I lost it. I'll just where I belong. That covers a lot of air. Yeah, that's true. I'd be happy anywhere in Scandinavia, to be honest.
I would be happy in Boston.
Hi, Owen. Wow, you're moving to Ohio and starting a Christmas tree
when are you?
Farm. Oh, I really need to start.
Read today.
I've heard some stories from the Appalachian Mountains around West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Maryland, and Virginia. Yeah, there's a lot of stories. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. We were actually looking at West Virginia, that little sliver that goes in between Pennsylvania and Ohio. We were looking at that. That's a very enticing part for us. It's not going to work in Ohio, just for what it would take for us to move our teaching license up there.
It's so expensive.
Yeah,
there's so much we have to do.
That little sliver of West Virginia, that is because we could work in Ohio. No, we couldn't.
No, that's the whole reason we weren't going.
I guess we could live in Ohio and work in West Virginia, or live in Pennsylvania. I mean, whatever. But yeah, we're looking in that area, and I do like that. I wouldn't want to be in the mountains just because I don't want to drive that. Not during the winter. During the summer, it's no problem. But during the winter, I don't want to have to deal with all that. But that one little section of West Virginia, that's got a pretty good pull to it.
We were looking at that the other day. We were waiting for something. Doctor's office.
Yeah.
So we were looking.
And houses are stupid cheap.
Yes.
I would say Costa Rica or Ireland or Scotland. Yep. Many great UFO stories in those areas too. Yeah, totally. Christmas that Coca-Cola made, the American holiday, is nothing like the one Europe used. No, definitely not. The one Europe used to do is more close to like Mardi Gras. Like it was It was an excuse to get plastered and have a lot of fun.
Get pajamas before you go in there.
Okay, guys, going to finish fixing dinner. Have a great rest of your evening. Thank you for stopping by. We're going to be heading out here soon in a minute, too. I read your comment. I didn't even say, hey. Hey, what's up, Drops? Sorry.
Go take a bath and then we'll check on her.
Who won?
Oh, next week.
Yeah, next week. Next week, Julie, is our thing. Mostly Dane and Swede. Very cool. Hannah wants to go to Amsterdam.
I do, so bad.
So bad. David, I read a book years ago. I think it was Ghost Stories of Appalachia. Tennessee, Maryland.
North Carolina, West Virginia.
Martinsburg. Yeah, Martinsburg is expensive. Mm-hmm. Where we were, we want to stay away from college towns.
Yeah. I was looking further up because there was one I was looking at. There was a college town, and we're like, yeah, we don't want that. So I looked a little further up.
Yeah. Whole eastern border, West Virginia is on an earthquake fault. Oh, that's delicious.
Grandma says hi. He says, hey, Grandma.
My toothpaste thing almost.
All within push it back. 30 miles. And that was one thing that kind of drew us because we loved Pittsburgh. And we loved the Worcester area of Ohio.
We really liked everywhere in Pennsylvania that we went.
Yeah. Even Joshstown, like in eastern Pennsylvania. I really enjoyed being there. Like that was a neat area. But yeah, I think we're gonna be looking when it's time, we're gonna be looking really hard in West Virginia.
Yeah.
You should take a week off and check out West Virginia. I hope to take a whole summer off and check out a good portion of the country. Yeah. We drove there in the winter while going north for 10 years. Yeah. I just don't want to do mountains in the winter. I want to visit the mountains in the winter. Yeah. See the sights, because that's beautiful. I don't want to live it and have to drive it every day. Martinsburg is a few roads in and out, and a few out though. Yeah. I've also I won't get into that. I don't feel like giving myself nightmares.
You didn't go to the Starry Night thing.
Starry Night thing? What are you talking about?
Starry Night thing with the TARDIS, and you go, I'll do that later. You were talking about anything.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know what you were going for.
I'm gonna brag on you.
Oh.
So Hannah yesterday, and if you follow me on Facebook, you already know this, but Hannah yesterday signed her first artist release to have her artwork published as an illustrator in an upcoming book. So we are very excited about that. Wheeling's where you're talking about. I think it's close to many areas too. That sounds familiar. I was pissed off at the doctors, so a lot of it, all I remember is I really liked what I was seeing. I can't remember details though. You love where my kids are, yeah. You also
cornered.
Yeah. Wheeling is where you're talking about. Yeah, okay. Actually, I know many places in PA. They say it's Christmas. It is. The only issue we have with Pennsylvania is taxes are stupid high. And I'm already a bit of a minarchist anyway, and I can't go where the taxes are exorbitant. I think Florida's too bad and we don't even have a state tax.
No, we don't.
My daughter got her art sent to Congress when she was 15. That's awesome. Problem with PA, it's a commonwealth, just like Kentucky. I looked in Kentucky. I actually had a heart to go towards Kentucky. When I saw the literacy rate in Kentucky, I'm like, dang, as a teacher, like I was burning. And I'm like, let's go there. And he was like, I don't want to go to Kentucky.
I know, we camped there.
Yeah.
That was rough.
And that was Eastern Kentucky. I'm talking rough. Western. I want to live by the distilleries. But you have to have a master's to teach in Kentucky. And
which might be why the literacy rate is down, because they can't get teachers.
Maybe. I refuse to go back and get a master's because no school will pay you anything to make it worth my time and money to go get my master's. Yeah. Like, I mean, what's an extra $400 a year? That's not worth it to me to go get my master's to be able to teach. Kentucky isn't bad all around. Of course it's not. Miss Loretta Lynn's from Kentucky. It's heaven on earth. There are parts of Kentucky I wouldn't want to bother with, but if Loretta Lynn comes from somewhere, you know that's got some good spots. Tennessee bushcrafter, not really fond of East. I haven't spent a whole lot of time there. I used to go to Cumberland Lake when I was younger. I had an uncle that lived there, and then right on my son, Sheila's. She's where I get my love of Loretta Lynn. Which we got to bring that record. I found a Loretta Lynn record at a yard sale, and I keep forgetting it in the car.
Well, we got to go check the chickens in a minute, so we'll grab it.
Yeah, I love me some Loretta Lynn. But yeah, so I spent time in the Cumberland area. And then other than that, it's just been driving through. We did spend one night. Well, we spent 2 nights in Kentucky. One camping, one in a hotel, and then just driving through. I went to one distillery, and I would love to do the Bourbon Trail. Problem is, since I did the spicy challenges, those super hot chips, I can't do straight liquor anymore. It has to be mixed with something. Sets me off. I've worked at Fort Knox for 3 years. I've also wired Loretta. Oh, very cool. That's awesome. I've never been to her ranch. It is my dream to one day just tell my mom, hey, next week we're heading up that way, hop in the car, and we're going to go to Butcher Holler, and we're going to go up see her ranch. I'd like to do it before she passed, but if she does pass, then I am 100% making that trip with my mom. It'll be a country pilgrimage. We are going to Butcher Holler. Like that's holy ground. I got emotional at the Ryman.
Just sitting on
and I didn't even get to go in. I saw it and I got emotional. I'm getting emotional now thinking about it because of what it has meant to so many people and has meant to my family and the music and everything that's happened there. I could only imagine how I would react. Yeah, at Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. I had a buddy who used to be part of the races that she has there. I could only imagine the emotional toll it would take for me to go to Butcher Holler. But I hear her brother is the best tour guide you'll ever get. Like he loves Butcher Holler so much and is so excited that you are there to look at where he grew up and where his sister came from, that he takes you through everything and he'll talk with you forever and awesome stuff. I'm waiting to find the right place to teach adult online and emergency management. I got my bachelor's in emergency management and master's. Oh, very cool. There's a couple that have popped up here recently. You may even look at teaching, English speakers, but non-English countries. I have a buddy that teaches in China, teaches English in China, but I'm sure they would be down for that too. Your uncle got a master's. His first job was secretary at a dump. Yeah. I know a professor at the University of Florida that told me if she had a choice, she would rather tell her younger self not to get her master's degree. She's one of the head professors at UF. Yeah. And you have to have the master's to teach at a university. I would be okay with teaching at a university, but it's either middle school, which is where my heart is. I'd be okay with at a university because students want to be there. Yeah. But I'm also outspoken enough. I probably wouldn't do well in a university. Mix some moonshine with apple cider. Sounds pretty good. She's in the teaching department. Oh, okay, gotcha. Motocross national finals are there. Yep. Part of teaching is getting the next level of degree until you make a principal. Oh, that sounds like torture to me.
I don't want to be in
I
administration.
could never be an admin.
No.
One, I would fail miserably because there's way too much paperwork, and I don't do paperwork very well.
No.
Luckily, I have nice principals that they make sure I get done what I need to get done in time, but they also understand that that is not my strong suit. My strong suit is connecting with students and delivering content to students, not admin tasks. So I could not be a principal or assistant principal. I could be a dean. I think I would like that at least 1 year, just kind of break it up a little bit. Like if I get drugged down with teaching, I may switch over to a dean for 1 year. Then I'll go back to teaching.
But if you're really good at being the dean, they're not going to let you go back.
True. Most educational systems will pay for you to get higher degrees. One, not in Florida. Other states maybe, but I'm like, one, my degree's not in teaching. So I would have to take extra classes just to be able to do that. Unless I go back and I finish getting a master's in youth ministry.
Yeah.
Which I would have to do a total like mind switch to get back into that mindset, be able to go to a Bible college again. And it would have to be online. If any Bible college would accept me anymore, I would be really hard to find a conservative Bible college that would accept me because I'm a Mason. I'm actually looking for emergency management director at a college school system. On the side, educate staff. That would be cool. That would be really cool. And I know our school, we have one guy at the district that kind of handles everything. I think it would be, granted, it would cost the district more money, but I think it would be more prudent to have somebody with it because we have elementary and middle school on the same compound. Yeah. It would be beneficial to have just one person over those two schools. That's a great idea. I hope you're able to find that exactly.
Okay, we'll go check
Okay,
on
we'll
her.
go check on it.
It's
So
time anyway.
Yeah,
20 minutes ago.
We need to go put the chickens up, and Owen's worried about the chicken that that caused me to get blue coat all over myself. So anyway, thank you all for coming in. If you haven't joined the giveaway, make sure you go to that link. Just comment on that video. And we really appreciate y'all coming in. It's been fun. It's been a blast. And y'all have a good week. Bye.